Good evening. My name is Dave Bell. I'm honored to speak at Evanston's Relay for Life. I'm the luckiest man on the face of the earth. I'm a colon cancer survivor. I'm a numbers and date person, so I'd like to tell you my story using numbers and dates. A couple words, though, that describe my journey. Invincible, naive, stupid, grateful. First, let me say, a lot of people like me, a lot of men, think they're invincible. I thought that for 10 years. I walked into the relay tonight and I saw a sign that said early detection. I didn't even think about it. I ignored it. I was invincible. Now my story. I was 51 when I was diagnosed with colon cancer. 10. The number of years with symptoms. Some of the symptoms where I'd be up out of bed 10 to 12 times a night. I knew all the bathrooms in the northwest suburbs because I had to have them ready if I was out of the road. I avoided events with family and friends. September 2009, I was traveling on business to our plant in Oklahoma, and one of my coworkers said, "You look like you're dying." September 2009, I attended my goddaughter's wedding. It took me 10 minutes to walk to the bathroom. Left the wedding right after dinner, and I don't think I had 2 bites. In October of 2009 was the moment of truth. I was sitting in my office at work and said, I've got to do something. I'm guessing I was slouched in my chair, made a call to my lovely wife and said, "Who's your parents' doctor?" At this time, I didn't even have a doctor to go to. Thank God for that call, and the rest is history. On 10/10/09, I had an emergency colonoscopy. The good part was I wasn't eating anything prior to, so I was able to go in. The best part of that was I had 1 hour of sleep that I haven't had in 10 years. I was sleeping. My wife told me this afterwards, but the doctor came out, the gastro guy came out and said there's a suspicious mass. I didn't really hear that. I was a little groggy. They said, go get a CAT scan. I had to drink some more of that stuff and go, ugh. But I had no other choice. On 10/19/09, I walked in from work, and I remember walking in and I heard my wife say on the phone, "So it's cancer." I didn't flinch. I kind of knew, just with all the symptoms and situations, I was hoping for something else like colitis or some other C word, but it was the big C. 100. The number of pounds I lost before I entered the hospital. 10/30/09, I entered the hospital and I can remember going to get weighed and almost couldn't lift my feet up on the scale. 3, the number of blood transfusions I had because I let it go so long. I didn't have any early screening and I waited far too long. November 3rd, 2009 was my surgery date. We didn't even screw around with chemo or radiation at that point. We went right to surgery. I remember being on the table, looking at my surgeon, and he said, "Take it out." At that point, here's the stupidity and naivety of myself. I never thought I was going to die. I didn't think too much about it. I just went along with it. When the doctor finished the surgery, they've affectionately named my tumor King Tumor. And the tumor was the size of a small football. And again, early detection, something I should have done, and I hope anybody in the audience does as they grow towards 50. I woke up with an ileostomy, a temporary ileostomy. I was cringing. I didn't want that. I had to go through life with that. I thought I would get my reversal in 30 days. Not exactly. They needed my colon to heal because I think they took about a foot out of my colon when they took the tumor. When I was in the hospital for my 10-day stay, on day number 9, I started feeling sorry for myself. And feeling sorry for myself, not that I had cancer, not that I had surgery, but I wasn't recovered and being able to go to work on Monday. I had a nurse, Stephanie, who slapped the crap out of me. And she said, "Wake up, you're healing." 3, that was the number of weeks I was off of work. It's not a perspective thing. I'm stupid. I didn't put the right things first. In 2009, December of 2009, I met with an oncologist. I didn't know what an oncologist was. I found out. At that sitting with the oncologist, he said, Dave, you have treatment, you have some chemo and radiation, and you have a 90% chance of living until you're 75. You do nothing, you got a couple of years. I didn't know what chemo or radiation was at the time. Again, stupid and naive. I remember sitting in his office, and I remember taking a pamphlet that was about chemo and radiation that was put out by the American Cancer Society and read through it. I said, oh my gosh, I've got to go through this. In December of 2009, I had a Mediport put in my chest, and I started 4 chemotherapy sessions, and they were mild compared to others that I saw going through this. My chemo sessions were 3 days. I'd go in on a Tuesday, I'd be connected for 3 days, I'd go to work with a chemo packet. When people got too close to me, they'd hear this little buzzing, and they'd go, beep, beep, as the chemo was going through my blood. The side effects I had were very minimal, extremely minimal. I have all my hair. Right now, the side effects are still happening to me. My feet tingle, and it's hard to turn pages because of the chemo going to my feet and to my fingers. One of the big ones that killed me, though, the side effect is my tongue. With the chemo they were giving me, if I had a drink that was cold, I couldn't even put it to my mouth. I'd have to throw the glass away, or because it would just hurt so bad if I touched cold water to my tongue. In February of 2010, I went to a radiation oncologist, and they said, you need 28 sessions of radiation. And I said, what? And he said 28. So what I did every morning at 7:30 prior to work, I'd go in for radiation treatment. The treatment would be about 10 minutes for 28 consecutive days, excluding weekends. Exhaustion. They would say a cumulative effect. It hit me big time. About 26, 27, and 28, I was hardly even able to walk into the radiation room. The month of February, March, I did radiation. The month of April, I did nothing. It was great. But then in May, I had to start chemo again. 7 more treatments, 3 days of a shot, 1 week on, 1 week off. The same side effects. The next number was 286, but who's counting? That's the number of days I had my ileostomy. In August of 2010, I had my reversal of my ileostomy. I was kind of back to normal. They took the scarecrow and put it back together again. The story's not over. Last October, I had a normal CAT scan. I go for CAT scans every 3 to 4 months. They missed. They went a little higher. It's usually a pelvic CAT scan from here to here. They went up high. What they found were 2 spots on my lungs. They didn't know what they were. They were nervous because of King tumor. The next number is 12. That's the number of inches the needle that went into my back to take a biopsy from the little spots in my lungs. I was awake. I had to be. I understand why, because my lungs would be moving. In November of 2012, just last November, I had 2 pieces of gold placed on my lungs. I feel more rich with the price of gold, but they put these pieces of gold out there for my next treatment. In December of last year, I had 3 sessions of what they call cyberknife radiation therapy. It's neat. It's so different than the radiation I had in 2010. But what I had to do was lay on a table in like a straitjacket, couldn't move for 2.5 hours. If my nose itched, I couldn't touch it. If I had something else to move, I couldn't do it. And they had this robot that would just go around me and zap my lungs. They went after the gold. They had some technicians doing this, and it was kind of nice. This past February, I went in for my first CAT scan after the cyberknife, not knowing what to expect. The results: 1 spot is completely gone, and the other spot is not grown. So there's a win. New technology, cyberknife, and I'm still here with everybody today. That's my story up to this point. I'd like to talk about a couple of things that has really impacted, or that's impacted me. First of all, my caregiver, my wife, Kara. She was with me all the steps of the way. Every session, every scan, every appointment, she was there. I would recommend to anybody, and I hope nobody ever has this situation, but to bring somebody with you. I, like any human, when I heard the big C word, I shut them down. I did not want to hear it. I did not want to hear anymore. I had another set of eyes and ears listening. Thank God. She was incredible. Also, I was blessed to have a sequence of doctors. If you remember at the beginning, I said I didn't have a doctor. I chose a doctor. And in today's world of doctors, it's referral after referral after referral. From the time I had the general, to the gastro, to the surgeon, to the oncologist, to the radiation oncologist, that's my dream team. For the last 3.5 years, they've taken care of me, and I'm here again with everybody today. Also, some of the events I've seen since I've gone through surgery in 2009. I saw my daughter Lindsay graduate from college in May 2010. I walked my oldest daughter, Mallory, down the aisle for her wedding in October of 2010. And November of 2011, I was there when my first granddaughter arrived, Lila, the love of my life. Now the final number, 55. That's how old I'll be a week from today. Another birthday. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity to speak in Relay for Life.